How do you deal with disrespect? Disrespect is a common challenge we all face in life, and it can be very disturbing and frustrating. But what if we could learn from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us how to handle difficult situations with wisdom and grace? In this video, we'll explore 10 practical Stoic principles that can help us deal with disrespect in a better way. As usual, I challenge you to be strong and stick with me until the end of the video. Let's get started. 1. Keep calm. One of the central teachings of Stoicism is that we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but rather by what we think about what happens to us. As Epictetus said, people are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. This means that disrespect is not inherently harmful or offensive. It's our interpretation and judgment that make us feel hurt or annoyed. When someone disrespects you, remember that their behavior is a result of their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not a reflection of your true worth or dignity. This can help you stay calm and not let their disrespect affect your emotional state. 2. Reflect on yourself. Another important aspect of Stoicism is the practice of self-reflection and self-examination. The Stoics believed that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives, and that we should always strive to improve ourselves and our actions. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you face disrespect, it's essential to reflect on yourself and ask questions like, is there any truth in what the person said or did? Did I do or say something that provoked this situation? How can I respond in a way that is consistent with my values and virtues? By reflecting on yourself and the situation objectively, you can gain a better understanding of the event and your own role in it. Self-reflection is a Stoic way of ensuring that your responses are based on rational judgments rather than impulsive reactions. This helps you learn from the situation and promotes personal growth and wisdom. 3. Learn to pause. Seneca once said, "Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit." The Stoics believe in the importance of self-control and rationality. They argue that impulsive reactions driven by intense emotions like anger or frustration often lead to poor decisions and unnecessary suffering. When faced with disrespect, the Stoic approach encourages you to avoid reacting impulsively. Instead, take a moment to pause and gather your thoughts. This pause allows you to regain control over your emotions and gives you the opportunity to respond more thoughtfully and carefully. By resisting the urge to react immediately, you can better align your response with Stoic principles of wisdom and self-control. This approach often leads to more constructive and less emotionally charged interactions. 4. Have empathy. Epictetus and other influential Stoic philosophers say, "Do not seek for everything to happen as you wish, but wish for everything to happen as it actually does." The Stoics believe in humanity, and that understanding others' motivations and emotions can lead to better interactions and personal growth. When someone shows disrespect, Stoicism suggests practicing empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their perspective. Empathy can help you see the situation from a different angle and realize that the person's disrespect may not be personal or intentional. It may be caused by their own insecurities, fears, or ignorance. Empathy can also help you feel compassion for the person and reduce your negative feelings towards them. By putting yourself in the shoes of the person who disrespected you, you can avoid taking their words or actions personally and respond in a more respectful and dignified manner. Empathy helps you understand the perspective, feelings, and motivations of the person. Instead of getting angry or defensive, you can respond with kindness and respect. This way, you can avoid escalating the conflict and maintain your dignity. Empathy also reflects Stoic principles of wisdom, compassion, and self-improvement. 5. Focus on virtue. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is to develop virtues like wisdom and courage. These are the qualities that help us live well and act rightly. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, wrote that virtue is nothing more than right reason. This means that being virtuous is the same as being rational and consistent with the natural order of things. The Stoics believe that virtue is the greatest good in life, and that everything else is indifferent. When we face disrespect from others, Stoicism teaches us to focus on virtue in our response. This doesn't mean we should ignore or tolerate disrespect, but rather that we should respond in a way that reflects our Stoic values and principles. By focusing on virtue, we can avoid being influenced by our emotions, maintain our dignity and integrity, and grow as a person. Stoicism challenges us to be the best version of ourselves even in difficult situations. 6. Accept. One of the main lessons of Stoicism is to accept the things that are not in our control, like the disrespect of others. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This means that we should be grateful for what we have and not worry about what's missing. Stoicism also teaches us to distinguish between what is in our control and what is not, known as the Stoic dichotomy of control. We can only control our own thoughts, feelings, and actions, but not external events or other people's behavior. When faced with disrespect, we should not let it affect our inner peace. Instead, we should accept it as part of life and focus on what we can do to improve ourselves and our situation. By accepting disrespect stoically, we can avoid unnecessary anger, frustration, and resentment. We can also learn from the experience and grow as a person. This helps us deal with disrespect in a rational and calm manner. 7. Use humor. Sometimes a little laughter goes a long way. As the ancient philosopher Seneca said, "You are mastering yourself when you know how to deal with what you should not take seriously." Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and act rationally, but it also recognizes the value of humor in dealing with challenging situations. Humor can help us maintain our emotional balance and avoid getting too angry or upset when someone disrespects us. Instead of letting our emotions take over, we can choose to respond with a witty comment or a playful joke. Of course, humor should not be used inappropriately or excessively, but it can be a useful Stoic technique for dealing with disrespect in a way that creates a more positive and peaceful outcome. 8. Set clear boundaries. Stoicism is not about being a doormat. It's about being a rock that stands firm in the face of disrespect and injustice. A rock that knows its worth and demands respect from others. A rock that controls what it can and lets go of what it can't. When someone disrespects you, you don't have to passively accept it. You also don't have to react with anger. You can be calm and assertive. You can tell them what they did wrong and how you expect them to treat you. You can set clear and reasonable boundaries that protect your dignity and self-respect. This is what Stoicism teaches us. It teaches us to be strong, fair, and courageous. It teaches us to respect ourselves and others. It teaches us to maintain our internal control and dignity in any situation. 9. Choose forgiveness. Imagine someone disrespecting you. How do you react? Do you explode with anger or let it go? The philosophy of Stoicism has much wisdom in it. The Stoics believed that forgiveness is not for others. It's a gift for oneself. Forgiveness is the key to inner peace and happiness. But forgiveness is not easy. It doesn't mean forgetting or approving of what happened. It means choosing to release the negative emotions that are hurting you more than anyone else. The Stoics say we should forgive everyone but not indiscriminately. We should forgive wisely with compassion and justice. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. We can't control others' behavior, but we can control how we respond. We can choose to forgive and free ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. We can choose to move forward with a sense of inner peace and tranquility. This is what Stoicism understands by forgiveness. It's not a weakness, but a strength. It's not a surrender, but a victory. It's not a sacrifice, but a reward. Forgiveness is the ultimate act of self-care and personal growth. 10. Change your perspective. Perspective is the ability to see things from a broader and more objective point of view. This helps you avoid overreactions or taking things personally when someone disrespects you. Instead, it helps you realize that the disrespect is not as important in the grand scheme of things. As Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." When you use perspective, you realize that most cases of disrespect are minor and temporary. They don't affect your true worth or happiness. You also realize that disrespect is often a reflection of the other person's ignorance, insecurity, or weakness, not yours. You can choose to ignore it, forgive it, or learn from it instead of letting it bother you. Perspective also helps you focus on what truly matters in life: your goals, values, and virtues. You can use your energy and time to pursue what is good and meaningful to you instead of wasting them on resentment or revenge. By doing so, you can live a more fulfilling and peaceful life. So the next time you face disrespect, remember to use perspective. It will help you stay calm and act wisely. Always remember that Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions, but about managing them well. By applying these 10 principles, you can stay calm and strong when faced with disrespect and rude behavior. Leave a thumbs up to help us reach more people in search of ancient wisdom. If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for more lessons on ancient wisdom. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in our next video.